The first crystal flute shattered against the marble with a sound like winter breaking. 1,000 glittering shards skittered across the polished floor, catching the chandelier light as they flew toward terrified guests. Lira's hand remained extended, perfectly steady, her face a sculpture of icy fury as she stared down at the young server, now trembling violently before her. "Clean it up," Lira hissed, her voice slicing through the stunned silence of Seoul's elite gathered in the Moon family's grand ballroom. "Then get out of my sight. You're finished here." The girl, barely 19, with shaking fingers and terrified eyes, dropped to her knees, beginning to gather the dangerous fragments as red blooms appeared on her skin where edges bit deep. No one moved to help. No one dared. They all knew better than to intervene when Lira Jung was displeased. She was the fiancée of Min-Jun Moon, heir to the most powerful organized crime syndicate in South Korea, and she wielded that position like a scalpel, precise, cold, and devastating. "Lira, my darling," Min-Jun's voice cut through the tension like velvet over steel. He approached through the parted crowd, his tailored tuxedo fitting his athletic frame with the perfection only obscene wealth could achieve. At 35, he carried himself with the coiled grace of a predator, his handsome face giving nothing away. Only his dark eyes held a subtle warning as they met hers. "You're causing a scene at our engagement celebration," he said quietly, his hand coming to rest at the small of her back, a gesture that looked intimate, but felt like restraint. Lira's expression transformed instantly, her red lips curling into a practiced smile though her eyes remained glacial. "I'm simply addressing incompetence, my love. If we allow standards to slip in small matters, they'll soon slip in larger ones. You taught me that." From the shadowed kitchen doorway, Amara watched with her heart thrashing against her ribs. She had arrived in Seoul just 4 days earlier, desperate for work after her teaching contract in Accra had dissolved unexpectedly. The agency had promised good pay, private quarters, and an honorable position with a wealthy Korean family. They hadn't mentioned the family's true business, nor the woman Amara would be serving. "Remember why you're here," she whispered to herself, her fingers finding the small silver cross at her throat. Tuition for Kofi's medical school, Mama's arthritis treatment, the loan repayment. Her family's survival rested on her shoulders alone now that her father was gone. The head housekeeper, Mrs. Park, materialized beside her, the older woman's stern face etched with lines of perpetual worry. "You begin tomorrow at 5, she said in low, rapid Korean. "Listen carefully, girl. Keep your eyes down, your mouth closed, and your movements efficient. Especially round Miss Lira." Her voice dropped further. "And never, under any circumstances, let your eyes linger on Master Min-Jun. That woman has destroyed lives for lesser offenses." Amara nodded, her throat tight. "Yes, ma'am, but fate, it seemed, had other designs." Amara's alarm screamed at 4:30 a.m. She dressed quickly in the stark black and white uniform provided, the fabric crisp against her dark skin. She braided her thick natural hair into a coronet, her reflection in the small mirror showing determined eyes shadowed by exhaustion. The servants' quarters were sparse but clean, a world away from the opulence of the main house. The Moon estate sprawled across 10 acres in Seoul's most exclusive district, a fusion of traditional Hanok architecture and brutalist modern design that spoke of power both ancient and contemporary. As Amara crossed the pre-dawn courtyard, she noted the armed guards stationed at intervals, their presence a silent reminder of exactly what kind of household this was. Mrs. Park was already in the industrial kitchen, orchestrating the morning's ballet with military precision. "You, Amara, correct?" "Yes, Mum. Take this tray to Master Min-Jun's private study. 3rd floor, west wing. Knock twice. Wait for permission. Enter with your eyes lowered. Place the tray on the side table and leave immediately. Do not speak unless spoken to. Understood?" "Understood." The silver tray weighed heavy in her hands, porcelain teacup, steel pot of aromatic tea, delicate pastries arranged like edible art. Amara navigated the labyrinthine corridors, her soft-soled shoes silent on the polished floors. She passed artworks that belonged in museums, sculptures that probably cost more than her entire village earned in a decade. And yet the mansion felt cold, more museum than home. She found the study door dark mahogany carved with intricate patterns. She knocked twice, Her breath caught in her throat. Enter. The voice was deep, resonant, with a timbre that seemed to vibrate in her bones. Dachi pushed the door open with her hip, eyes fixed on the floor as instructed. The room smelled of sandalwood, aged paper, and something else, something distinctly masculine and expensive. She moved toward where she assumed the side table stood, but in her obedience to keep her gaze lowered, she missed the corner of an exquisite Persian rug that had curled upward. Amara stumbled, the tray tilting precariously. Hot tea sloshed from the pot's spout, and in that suspended second, she knew she was about to ruin a priceless textile and possibly her entire future. Strong hands caught the tray, steadying it in her grasp. She gasped, looking up instinctively, and found herself staring into the darkest eyes she had ever seen, eyes like midnight in the dry season, intense and unreadable. Min-Jun Moon stood inches from her, so close she could see the faint scar bisecting his left eyebrow, could smell the cedar and bergamot of his cologne. He was taller up close, more imposing, and yet careful, he said, his voice softer than she expected. Sir, I'm so sorry. You're new. His eyes searched her face with unnerving focus. Yes, sir. Amara Adjei from Ghana. I arrived 4 days ago. She realized she was offering more information than requested and pressed her lips together. Min-Jun took the tray from her and set it on the desk himself. You speak Korean well. Thank you, sir. I studied languages at university. I was a teacher before. Before this, a teacher. He repeated the word as if tasting it. What subject? Literature and comparative linguistics. Sir, for the first time in longer than he could remember. Min-Jun felt something stir, not attraction, precisely, but curiosity. This woman with her intelligent eyes, her calm demeanor despite obvious nerves, her quiet dignity, she was nothing like the people who usually inhabited his world. There was an authenticity to her, an unpolished truthfulness that felt like clean air in a smoke-filled room. Amara, he said, her name unfamiliar on his Korean tongue. It means grace in my language, does it not? She blinked, surprised. Yes, sir, or sometimes eternal in certain dialects. Grace, he repeated, as if considering the concept itself. The moment stretched between them, charged with something neither could name. Then the door flew open. Min-Jun, why are you? Lira stopped mid-sentence, her eyes narrowing to slits as she took in the scene, her fiancé standing uncomfortably close to a beautiful black woman, an intimacy in the space between them that ignited something primal in her chest. Who is this? The new maid, Min-Jun said coolly, stepping back. Delivering breakfast, Amara bowed. I'll go now, sir. Ma'am, she fled, but not before catching Lira's expression, a mask of beautiful fury. The moment the door closed, Lira turned on Min-Jun. You were looking at her. Don't be absurd. I know that look. Her voice trembled with suppressed rage. 3 years, Min-Jun. 3 years I've waited to become your wife, played the perfect companion, endured your coldness. And now you look at some African servant like she's enough. His voice cut through hers. Watch your tone, Lira. I don't answer to you. You will when we're married. She stepped closer, her manicured hand on his chest. Or have you forgotten our arrangement? Your father promised you to me. Our family's alliance is what maintains the peace between territories. You need my family's shipping routes, their political connections. He removed her hand. I'm aware of our arrangement. That doesn't grant you dominion over who I speak to in my own home. Lira's beautiful face contorted before she mastered it. Of course, darling. I'm just protective of what's mine. She kissed his cheek, but her mind was already worrying. That maid would need to disappear. Downstairs, Amara leaned against the cool wall, trying to calm her racing pulse. What had just happened? The intensity of Min-Jun's gaze, the way her skin still hummed where his fingers had brushed against hers, it was dangerous. Forbidden, impossible. Did you deliver the tray? Mrs. Park appeared, making Amara jump. Yes, ma'am. I almost spilled, but Master Min-Jun, he caught it. Interesting. Mrs. Park's eyes held something unreadable. The main ballroom needs cleaning from last night's festivities. Take Soo-jin with you. The next weeks passed in a blur of work. Amara kept her head down as instructed, but observant by nature. She noticed things, Lira's casual cruelty to staff, Her whispered phone calls that ended abruptly when others approached. The way she sometimes returned late from shopping with the scent of cigar smoke, clinging to her clothes, a scent Min-Jun didn't wear. She's poison. Soo-jin confided one evening as they polished silver. The young Korean woman had become Amara's only friend in the household. Last month, she accused a gardener of stealing a bracelet. He denied it, of course. They found the bracelet in her jewelry box a week later, but by then he was already gone. No one knows where. Gone? Amara's blood chilled, disappeared. That's what happens when you cross Lira Jung or the Moon family. Soo-jin lowered her voice further. And I've seen the way Master Min-Jun watches you when you're in the garden. He thinks no one notices, but I do. And so does she. As if summoned by their conversation, Mrs. Park appeared. Amara, Miss Lira has requested you specifically serve at tonight's dinner. Wear your formal uniform. Soo-jin's face paled, but she said nothing. That evening, Amara stood rigid in the formal dining room, hands clasped behind her back. Min-Jun sat at the head of the massive table, Lira beside him, and 6 dangerous-looking men in expensive suits filled the remaining seats. She recognized one, a politician recently acquitted of bribery charges despite overwhelming evidence. Gentlemen, Min-Jun's voice commanded silence. To new partnerships, glasses lifted, but the atmosphere thrummed with unspoken tensions. One man, broad-shouldered with a spiderweb tattoo creeping up his neck, kept staring at Lira with undisguised lust. So, Moon, the man said, his words slightly slurred. When's the wedding? 3 years is a long engagement. People are starting to talk. Min-Jun's expression didn't change. We'll marry when the time is right. Chairman Kwan, that's my niece you're keeping waiting. Kwan pressed, emboldened by liquor. If you're not interested, I'm sure other men would be. The temperature plummeted. Min-Jun set his glass down with deliberate precision. Finish that sentence, and it will be your last. Kwan laughed nervously. A joke, Moon. Just a joke. But Lira's smile was brittle, her humiliation palpable. More wine. She snapped at Amara. Now. Amara moved forward, tilting the bottle toward Lira's glass. As she poured, Lira's hand jerked abruptly, knocking the bottle so that crimson wine splashed across the white linen and onto Min-Jun's suit jacket. You clumsy idiot. Lira shrieked, springing up. Look what you've done. I'm sorry. Sorry? You've ruined imported Italian wool worth more than your entire village. Lira's hand flew out, striking Amara's cheek with a crack that echoed through the silent room. The men looked away, suddenly fascinated by their plates. Min-Jun stood slowly, wine dripping from his sleeve. Lira, outside. Now. But, Min-Jun, she now. His voice held such menace that even Chairman Kwan sobered. Lira followed him out, her heels like gunshots on marble. Amara stood trembling, her cheek burning, tears threatening, but held back by sheer will. She would not cry. Not here. In the hallway, Min-Jun turned on Lira. You did that deliberately. She's incompetent. I saw your hand move. You will never strike my staff again. Understand? Her eyes widened. You're defending her? A maid over your fiancée? I'm defending basic decency, something you've evidently forgotten. I haven't forgotten anything. Min-Jun, including that I'm a Jung. My family controls the ports. Your father arranged this marriage to secure those ports. Without me, your operations strangle. Is that what you want? Is that a threat? A reality? Her voice softened, a practiced transition. Why are we fighting? I love you. I'm just jealous. Can you blame me? You're distant, and then I see you looking at her. Everyone sees it. For a moment, Min-Jun almost pitied her. But he knew Lira, her love was possession, her loyalty transactional. Go home, Lira. We'll discuss this later. She left in a fury, and Min-Jun stood alone, his thoughts turbulent. Amara was becoming a problem not because of anything she'd done, but because Lira was right. He did watch her. He found himself listening for her laugh in the corridors, noticing how she treated the other staff with kindness, how she hummed Ghanaian hymns while working. It was dangerous. It was foolish. It had to stop. But stopping proved impossible. 2 days later, Amara was summoned to Mrs. Park's office. The head housekeeper looked troubled. You're being reassigned. Master Min-Jun has requested you as his personal attendant. Amara's stomach dropped. I don't understand. Neither do I, child. But when the master requests, we comply. You'll manage his private quarters, meals, and schedule. It's a promotion, more pay, but Mrs. Parkside. Be careful. More visibility means more danger. Being Min-Jun's personal attendant meant proximity that set Amara's nerves alight. The first morning, she knocked on his bedroom door at precisely 6 a.m. Enter. He stood by floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's skyline, wearing only black silk pajama bottoms. His back was a canvas of intricate tattoos, dragons, tigers, Korean characters, and scars that told violent stories. Amara tried not to stare. Your tea, sir. Amara. He turned, revealing more tattoos across his chest. Do you know why I requested you? She kept her eyes lowered. No, sir. Look at me. Slowly, she raised her eyes. I requested you because you're the only honest person in this house, he said quietly. Everyone else wants something. Power, money, protection. But you just want to do your job and care for your family, yes? Yes, sir. Tell me about them. And so she did her brother Kofi's medical school dreams. Her mother's arthritis, the loan sharks circling after her father's death. Min-Jun listened, truly listened, and when she finished, he pulled out his phone. Your family's debts. How much? Sir, I couldn't. How much, Amara? She named a figure that would take a decade to repay. Min-Jun made a call in rapid Korean. Within minutes, it was done. Consider it hazard pay for enduring Lira, he said, moving closer. And a gift from someone who values your presence. This is wrong, she whispered, but didn't retreat. I'm engaged to a woman I don't love in an arrangement I never wanted. Do you believe in fate, Amara? I believe in God, in right and wrong. And this, she stepped back. This feels wrong. I'm a maid. You're you, and you're engaged. I won't be the other woman. I won't betray another woman, no matter how cruel. Something like respect flickered in his eyes. You have more honor than most men in my organization. Then honor my position, sir, please. He nodded slowly. As you wish. But this conversation isn't over. What's between us won't disappear by ignoring it. He was right. Over the following weeks, tension thrummed between them, a charged silence during morning tea, lingering glances during evening turndowns. They barely spoke, but everything unsaid hung heavy in the air, and Lira noticed. You think you're special, don't you? Lira cornered Amara in the greenhouse one afternoon, her voice venomous. The exotic diversion. He'll tire of you. They always do. I haven't done anything inappropriate with Master Min-Jun yet, but you want to. Lira stepped closer. Let me explain what happens if you continue. First, I ruin you. Then your family. Yes, I know about them. Your sick mother, your student brother. One phone call, and their suffering begins. Amara's blood iced over. You're monstrous. I'm protective. So here's what you'll do. Quit. Tell Min-Jun you're returning to Ghana and disappear. Or everyone you love suffers. Before Amara could respond, Soo-jin stepped from behind a tall fern. Phone in hand. Recorded every word, she said grimly. Lira's face whitened. She lunged, but Soo-jin dodged, running with Amara close behind. They burst into Min-Jun's study, where he was meeting with his second-in-command, Jae-hyun. Master Min-Jun, you need to see this. Soo-jin gasped, extending her phone. Lira tried to grab it, but Jae-hyun blocked her. Hand moving to his weapon. Min-Jun played the recording. His expression darkened with each word. Get out, he said quietly when it finished. Min-Jun. Let me explain. Get out. His roar rattled the windows. Before I forget, you're a woman and put a bullet in your head for threatening someone under my protection. Lira stumbled back, tears of rage now. You'll regret this. My family answers to me. Leave now or don't leave at all. She fled. Min-Jun turned to Soo-jin. Send that to my secure server. There will be a bonus. Then to Amara. Stay. Everyone else out. When they were alone. He moved closer, eyes blazing. Did she hurt you? No, just threats. Threats against your family. Threats to make you leave. He stood before her, rage and fear warring in his expression. Were you going to leave without telling me? I didn't know. Your family is now under my protection. I'm bringing them here. Your mother will have the best doctors. Your brother will attend Seoul National University. They'll live in secure housing Lira cannot touch. Why are you doing this? You know why. He cupped her face. I'm done pretending, Amara, done with arrangements. You asked me to honor your position, and I tried. But I can't anymore. My engagement is over. I'll handle the fallout with her family. His thumb brushed a tear from her cheek. Tell me you feel this too. Tell me I'm not alone in this madness. You're not alone, she whispered. But I'm terrified. Of you, of this world, of losing myself. Nothing is impossible, he said softly. I'm the most feared man in Seoul's underworld, and you've brought me to my knees with just your honesty. If that's not impossible, what is? Then he kissed her, and she kissed him back, and the world fractured and reformed around them. It was desperate, tender, inevitable. When they broke apart, he said, I can't promise you safety or peace. My world is dark, but I can promise to protect you with everything I am, to cherish you. To the study door exploded inward. Men in tactical gear poured in. At their center stood Chairman Kwan, gun aimed at Min-Jun's head. Step away from her, Moon. This doesn't concern the girl. Min-Jun moved in front of Amara. Kwan, you've made a fatal error, have I? My niece came to me heartbroken. You humiliated her for this African. The other families whisper you're weak, distracted, and weakness is blood in the water. This is a coup. Kill you, marry Lira myself, absorb your territory. Elegant, really. Jae-hyun's voice came through the door. Sir, we're pinned. Kwan smiled. My men have the estate. Your guards are neutralized. Sign over your operations, and you and your pet can flee. Refuse, and you both die. Amara's eyes darted to Min-Jun's desk, a heavy jade paperweight within reach. As Kwan monologued, she edged toward it. You won't kill me, Min-Jun said calmly. Because the moment I die, every dirty secret of yours goes to prosecutors and rival families. Dead man's switch. Kwan hesitated. In that second, Amara grabbed the paperweight and threw it with all her strength. It struck Kwan's wrist, the gun clattering to the floor. Min-Jun moved like lightning, disarming the nearest man and returning fire. The study became a battlefield. Panic button under the desk. Min-Jun shouted, Amara dove, bullets whizzing overhead. Her fingers found the hidden switch, alarms blared. Within seconds, the thunder of footsteps echoed. Min-Jun's elite guards, previously off-site. The fight was brutal, efficient. Kwan's men fell. Soon, Kwan knelt on the floor, bleeding and surrounded. You threatened what's mine, Min-Jun said. Gun to Kwan's head. You know the penalty. Wait. Lira planned this. She promised me your territory. I know. Min-Jun's smile was cold. Did you think I don't have surveillance in my own home? I have her on tape conspiring with you. The council will devour her. He glanced at Jae-hyun. Take him to the holding cells. As Kwan was dragged away, Min-Jun turned to Amara. She was pale, shaking. He holstered his weapon and pulled her into his arms. It's over. You're safe. I've never seen someone die before. I know. I'm sorry. He held her tighter. If you want to leave, I'll understand. I'll still protect your family. But I won't force you to stay in this darkness. Amara pulled back to look at him, this dangerous man who killed without hesitation, yet held her like something precious, who offered her freedom though it clearly pained him. I'm not leaving, she said firmly. But we do this my way. No more killing unless absolutely necessary. We change things. Make your organization about protection, not destruction. Can you do that? Min-Jun stared, amazed. She'd just survived a gunfight and was now lecturing him on ethics. He should have been offended. Instead, he fell harder. For you, I can try. Good. Now, Lira? As if summoned, Lira appeared in the doorway, hair wild, makeup streaked, a pistol trembling in her hands. You ruined everything. He was mine. Put the gun down, Min-Jun said calmly, stepping in front of Amara. No, I've given you everything. Played the perfect fiancée. For what? To be replaced by a nobody. She's not a nobody, Min-Jun said quietly. And you know what's tragic, Lira? You could have been something real too, if you'd shown an ounce of her integrity. But you only ever cared about power. I love you. You love what I represent. He stepped closer. It's over. The engagement is off. Your family will be notified. I'm giving you a choice. Leave Korea tonight and live, or face the council for conspiracy. You know their justice. Lira's hand shook. For a terrible moment, Amara thought she might fire. Then the gun clattered to the floor. I'll go. But you'll regret this. She'll never survive your world. It will destroy her, and you'll be alone, remembering I warned you. She fled, and this time didn't return. 3 months later, the Moon estate felt transformed. Warm colors replaced cold grays. Plants bloomed in once empty corners, and laughter echoed through halls that had known only whispers. Amara's family had arrived from Ghana. Her mother's arthritis was manageable with proper treatment, and Kofi was thriving in pre-med courses at SNU. They lived in a secure apartment Min-Jun owned, protected but free. But the greatest change was in Min-Jun himself. Under Amara's influence, he began restructuring protection rackets became actual security services. Illicit loans transformed into microfinance for legitimate small businesses. The council grumbled, but when Min-Jun presented evidence of the Jung's treachery, they sanctioned Lira's family instead. Chairman Kwan had retired to a fishing village under permanent surveillance. Lira was in Paris, according to reports, spending her diminished fortune on bitterness. Amara stood in the moonlit garden, wearing a simple white dress, her braids loose around her shoulders. Footsteps sounded behind her. You're thinking too hard, Min-Jun said, wrapping his arms around her waist. Just wondering if this is real, or if I'll wake up in Accra. If it's a dream, we share it. He turned her to face him, love shining in eyes once known only for cruelty. The council wants to meet you formally next week. As my partner. Partner, she repeated. I was getting to that. He lowered to one knee, pulling out a velvet box. Inside rested a ring of central diamond surrounded by smaller stones, the color of sunset. Amara Adjei, you terrify me. You've made me question everything I knew about power. I'm still not a good man, but with you, I'm trying to be. Will you marry me? Will you stay in this dangerous, beautiful life we're building? Tears filled her eyes. Yes, she whispered. Yes. He slid the ring on her finger and stood, kissing her as garden lights flickered on, revealing they weren't alone. Mrs. Park, Soo-jin, Jae-hyun, Amara's mother and brother, and the entire household staff stood applauding. You planned this, Amara accused, laughing through tears. I wanted everyone who matters to witness, Min-Jun said, to see that the feared Moon Min-Jun was brought to his knees by love, by God's grace. She corrected gently. That's what brought us together. Then I should start believing, he said softly, because only divine intervention could have sent me a woman brave enough to throw a paperweight at an armed man to save me. My aim was terrible. You were perfect. That night, they celebrated with a feast jollof rice beside kimchi, banku with grilled samgyeopsal, soju, and palm wine. It was loud, joyful, imperfect, and real. Later, on their balcony overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline, Amara leaned into Min-Jun. Everyone feared the Korean Mafia boss's fiancée, she mused, until the Ghanaian maid changed everything. You didn't change everything. He murmured into her hair. You became everything. The men call you Queen of Seoul now, he added. They respect you because they see I listen to you, that your word has weight. I'm still just me. You're my conscience, my heart. He paused. Though I admit, I miss when you were just the beautiful maid I couldn't stop watching. Oh, I could wear the uniform again sometime. The heat in his eyes made her laugh. Dangerous woman, I'm learning. She grew serious. Promise me we'll keep changing things. Choose mercy when possible. Light over darkness, I promise. With you, how could I choose otherwise? He held her closer. My father built this empire on fear. I maintained it. But you've shown me real power comes from loyalty earned, from protecting rather than exploiting. Your father would be proud of the man you're becoming. I hope so. But the only person I need to make proud is you. They stood together as the city pulsed below two people from impossible worlds, who had forged something real. Challenges waited council disapproval. Rivals testing perceived weakness, but they would face them together. Tell me about our wedding, Amara said, a fusion. Ghanaian and Korean traditions, a statement that old ways are changing, that love matters more than alliances. You're becoming poetic.